Good afternoon, everybody. So let us start our class. So we started our discussion with a file input-output operation in our last class, and I believe today I will wrap it up. Okay, so our class will be maybe pretty shorter today. I think I can finish in 30 minutes or maximum 40 minutes today. So we discussed the file input-output operation. The main reason of using file is to hold our data or store our data permanently. Storing our data in permanent fashion. So in most of the applications, almost all applications, in somehow they store data in a data file. That data file may be stored in local computer, or that data file may be stored in a remote computer, that we say cloud computer. So wherever you save your file, no matter, but in order to save your file, or in order to save your data on a data file, you need to do file input and output operation. And in order to do file input output operation, you need to open a file, you need to select what do you need to do. You need to set up your file read or write mode, and then after your operation you need to close your file. So we discussed this. Okay, so in C++ and in Java there are some existing classes. We use those classes in order to create data file or open data file in a specific mode, and after our operation, we close our data file. So in addition to the file input output classes, there are some other classes. One of the classes in Java that we have file class, that is used to manage file. For instance, to check whether a file is available or not, whether a file exists or not, and if the file exists, you can find its length or its location or its path or absolute path, something like this. So if we go to your book, this is on Java programming. So I encourage you to read the book. So in the book there are more in detail file and input output operation examples and description. When you get basic idea from this class, you should read the book in order to get more in-depth idea how to do file input and output operation. Okay, somewhere I saw a good picture I want to share with you. maybe this one. All right. I was looking for an example. Sorry, I did not find it. Okay, so we discussed this in our last class. So in order to do file input-output operation, we need to connect our file, okay, with some input-output stream. Okay, so in our last class, we discussed with the program. This is the last program we discussed, right? So file writer. This file writer class, it creates a file. So it will create a file. For instance, if I say my name, Mukhtar, it will create a file by my name on my root directory. This dot means the root directory of this project. So what is this root directory? If I go and do a right click, and if I click on show in System Explorer, so this is my project folder. Okay, so actually I do have some extra. So you see that I don't have any file name as my name Mukhtar.txt, but as soon as I run my program, it will create a file, this file. So this file is apparently empty. It does not have anything. Okay. So after you open a file in order to using file writer class, and there is also, okay, I will go through this later. So then after that, when you create a file, that you need to link your file with input output stream in order to get data from file or in order to write data into file. There are some existing method. For instance, a file, there is a file class. This file class is mainly used in order to do file management, to check whether this file is available or not. So for instance, we know that we have a file, my name. So if I now check it, then if I run this program, it will say that file already exists. Okay. So this program, you see, in this program there is a little bit different use of try. So within the try, previously we showed that we use second curly bracket, but here in the parenthesis we are providing the some instructions over here. Okay, then we can do this way. This is actually one instruction. So if we run this program, that it will say that if it finds the exist method says that whether this file exists. If it exists, then it will say, okay, the file already exists, and it will exit 0 means it will terminate our program. However, if the file does not exist, for instance, let me put something else, then what will happen? You see that if file did not exist, then it came here and it created a new file with the name, with that name I provided. So let us check over there whether my file is created or not. You see that this file is all created, new file, and as long as it's created, let me open this file. It also wrote some data in this file. So these are the data is written on this file with these instructions, I think. Okay, so these are the data is written with this in the instruction. So as usually we know that we use print or println method in order to display something on data file on our on our monitor, right? But if we use this output as a file writer output, that means this output object is connected with that file name, and it is connected with that file name as long as it is writing. So previously we wrote system.out.println, right? We wrote like this way. If I write in sysout, then I pressed Control plus space bar. I'm expecting to auto-complete my code. Okay, so it's just system.out.println is the file was created and written with some data. Okay, so whatever we write here, let me create a different file. Okay, then it will create this file. So here if we say system.out.println, then this output will be displayed on our monitor, on our console. But when we use connect, you see the output, this object is connected with the file, then this will be printed, will be written on a data file, not on monitor. Okay, so now everybody understand at this point the difference between the use of like same println method for with the system.out object and with the output object. Even this object I could give a different name for with a file, connecting with a file. Anybody has any question at this point? Okay. Let me see a few more examples. Okay, so this program, if I run this program, so let us go line by line. This line will create a file as name myfile.txt, and then on the console it will show you this message. It will display with this message, and when you run this program, then it will allow you to write something on your file. Yes.
So how does it know if it start in the folder that you're in? That's where it makes
How do I know?
like no, I'm not asking like does the file that it goes into is it in the folder that program is in?
I did not understand your question.
When you write the file, where does it go?
When I write the file?
Yeah, where does it go?
Okay, I'm coming this again. Okay, please give attention to me and do not do side talk. Okay. So let us see this program. So in this program, this line, it will create a file as name myfile.txt. So the dot, it says it will create the file in the root directory of this project. Even I could select even C:\/ users, then my username I can give that way. Okay. So but shortcut way, I'm creating a file on my project root directory, and then let us see that. So this line, it says it is creating a character variable, and it says while character not equal to \n, while I am not pressing an enter keyword, \n means enter, until I press enter keyword, then it will say FOS, okay, file output stream. Okay, that's still actually what is doing. Write the character C into the right method is writing the text into my file. Okay, and after writing it, it is closing the file, and then again it is opening the file again. FRS, that is, it is opening the file, and it is displaying while I see this read line is reading the character one by one from the file, and until it goes all the way end of the file, it will be displaying on my console. So let us run this program. Let me run this program. Okay, so when I run this program, it says that the file name file myfile.txt is opened. Where this file is opened? This one is myfile.txt. Is 1244? Is this file was created 1244? It is 1245, right? It's right now a minute ago. Then if I write something, okay, so whatever I type in over here, so as soon as I press enter, there is a mistake over here. I know that what is the mistake. Okay, it will be like this one. Let me run. I'm sorry, what is the exception? The micro system cannot the file. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is looking for on C, so I need to change it. Okay. So if I write something and then as soon as I press enter, okay, so that it is showing me the output, whatever the content I do have in my file as well as. So let me open that file. So this is my file.txt, it was created. And you see the text. These are the text I wrote on this file, right? These are the text I wrote on this file. Hello friend, just then some other things. So then maybe your question was that how my program knows where the data should go, right? What is your question? What is your question?
No, you showed it. I was asking earlier how to play certain files, but you can just type it in the directory to like the my file, the file reader earlier on on line 24.
This one?
On line 24.
Line number 24?
Yeah.
Okay.
So earlier I was asking how you could send it to the different folders, but you showed it by you could input the directory.
Good?
But you showed it.
So now we are good? You are good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so these methods, there are some existing methods. For instance, the write method, it writes data into file. Okay, and so when you say write method, this is a file, so this write method is a FWS, that is, it is connected with this file. Okay, so whatever you type in, it will be written on this file. And then there are some other methods for reading the data from file. One of the method is for read line. The read line method reads data from one by one line. There are some other methods in order to read, like one of the methods is called read by byte, or read next. There are some existing method. So some of the things that you need to remember, in order after you write your data file on your data file, you need to close it. Here I am closing my data file, then I am opening this again, and then after my printing, and then I am closing it again. So most of the time, like we do mistake that we forget to close our data file. In that case, an exception may happen. Okay, so I will push this code on your GitHub, on my GitHub account. So then I like everybody to go to this practice this program. For instance, this program, we say that there is a file class. This class has some existing method. This will check, for instance, whether the file is exist. Okay, or if it exists, it will get the file name. It can get the file path, or it can get absolute path. Absolute path means the entire path. Okay, let us run this program. If we run this program, okay, actually the text, this file does not exist. So let us create a file by this name. So by this line we can create a file, right? By this line we can create a file as text dot Okay, so anyone know why this error is showing? Hmm? Yes, what I need to add throw declaration, this should be fine. Okay. Then it will create this file, then at this time it will show this file is already exist. Okay, this file does already exist, and then because I'm just creating over here, so definitely it will exist. And then after that it will show me my file name. This is the gate name, f.gate name. Okay, this is my file name, and then this is the absolute path. That means where is this file created, and this is file path is just as the shortcut path. Okay, so let us give a different name, t, multiple t's, and let us run this. You see that I do not have this file with a lot of t's, but if I run this program, as soon as it's created this file, okay, and then it will tell my absolute path. Absolute path is the entire path. So anyone has any question about file, how to create a file and how to read or write? You need to do practice. Okay, these are the code that you need to memorize. Okay, you cannot memorize this. Okay, this is another program that it will say it will allow you to write your file name. Okay, I will answer your question in a minute. Okay, so this program it will allow you to write your file name. For instance, if I run this program, it will allow me to write your file name. What is your name? What is your name? How do you spell it? SETH. Okay, so in my computer I don't have a file name here as your name, SETH. Okay, let me run it. SETH dot, let us create a doc file, doc. Okay, so as soon as I press enter, that it will check whether this file does not exist. Okay, there is no such file, but if I give, for instance, my file, if I run it again, my file.txt, okay, this file exists already. My file exists, so then it will show me this file path and this information. Okay, then what is your question set? Why do I need? What?
Why do you need the
Throws IO exception? Okay, that's a good question. We discussed this. We need this IO exception in order to handle our read line method. Yeah, this is Java. Yeah, I will discuss C# in a minute. We discussed that in order to use the read line method, we need to use either two options, whether you can use surround with try catch block or use throws exception. The two options. Because the read line method is intended to read from a keyboard, right? It may happen that your keyboard may not be working, right? Or you may do mistake in inserting your data. This is the part that exception handling we discussed in our last week, right? Okay, so there are some existing, okay, so there are some problems here. I will put this in my GitHub project, and also there are some sample programs in your book. Okay, please practice this. And then now I will go through this program with Java, with actually C#, right? So like Java, in C#, there are some existing classes. We need to use those existing classes in order to do our file operations. Let me go with this program. Okay. Okay, this program is in C#. Okay, so I have here file name. This file name is text.txt. Okay, so let me make it simple. Test.txt. Okay, and then in C# there is a file stream class. In this file stream classes constructor, you will provide multiple things. You will provide the file name first, then you will provide the file mode. Okay, it says open or create. There are a number of file modes. Okay, this is an enum actually file mode. So if you click over here, you see multiple modes. Okay, file modes, there are multiple modes. Create a new file. So you can put one or create a new file over here. Create is to open or create. Okay, truncate, append. Okay, this is the enum. Okay, yes. Yeah, this is I'm telling that. Create a new, that means it will create a new file. Okay, open or create, that means if the file with same name exists, then it will open that. It will not create a new one. If it does not exist, then it will create a file with same name. Okay, and create means if it will create a file and it will overwrite. Maybe create new, it creates a new file, it overwrites. Maybe. So if you say there are more explanation here, what are the modes for each of these? Okay, if you want to know this, you can go in depth. Okay, and then we are opening this file read write mode. For instance, one time we will read data and another time we will write from. We will write data sometime and then we'll read from. For this instruction is file write byte. This method writes on a data file byte by byte. So how it is connecting with this file? Just with this f. Here is f my file stream object. So then this f dot file write byte, this is connecting this. That means whatever I will type in, actually here it's very simple. It will create a file named test.txt and it will be writing on that file the number from 0 to 20. Okay, so then after that it will check whether the file exists. Actually it exists. You know, in C# exist E is in uppercase, but in Java we saw that E is in lowercase. Okay, so then if that file exists, then what it will do, the position method, it will take the cursor to the beginning of the file. and then after that it will be displaying all of the data that are in file one by one in the console. Okay, then after that it will close the data file, and after that it will be waiting for my response. So if I run this program, is very simple program. It will create a data file, and in the data file it will write the numbers from 0 to 20. 0 to 20, where did I say this? Here I said write byte from 0 to 20. So this is why it wrote 0 to 20, and after that, for this line, I'm reading those numbers from my data file. So this is why it is showing the file exists and contains. The file exists and contains what is showing from whatever my number from here. It is showing that. So actually, in this case, in C#, this file was created in this location. What is the location? C:\users, my username, workspace, my project name, and then my project name, then bin debug in the debug folder. So if I go to my workspace and then project, and what is my program name over here? File IO read write byte. File IO read write byte bin debug folder. What is my file name over here? Test.txt. This is my test.txt file. Okay. You should have this file was created at 101.322. Right now 103, right, a few minutes ago. But if I open this file, I believe I will not get my data because this data are encrypted. I will not see the data 1, 2, 3, 0 to 20, but I am getting data in encryption order, encrypted data. C# encrypts it. Okay, this kind of security. Okay, so this is a simple file operation with C#, and I have, so here the method is write byte. This method writes byte by byte character. That means we know that in ASCII code one character takes 1 byte. So since we are writing only few numbers, so write byte method is sufficient for us. And there is another method for read byte. Read byte is used to get data from the data file. So you understand? Okay, so I have another methods. So okay, write wall text. Okay, so this program, for instance, my file name is txt.txt, whatever my file name is here. So there is another method. It says read wall text. It will read all text from an existing file. So when we have an existing file, what programming languages do, it holds all of the file content as a single string. So for instance, let me run it and then I will show you. Okay, the file txt, remember the file name test, where this file will be was located. This is my folder name. You see that project name, this is my folder name, file iOS read all text, then bin debug folder. Okay, it's a long way. I have to go to long way. Actually, this is my location, file read all text, and then in my debug, this is my text, test. Okay, this file I did not create this file. I just in my this program I just opened that file. If you see that, this is the content of this file. Hello, Mukhtar Hussain. So it showed the code. Yes. This is my file name. Sorry? I don't understand. File already exists. Like this? Okay. Whatever it files, the file contains the whole text, as I was telling, that whole text, entire file text, not this line. This line is of the display. This line or that line of this line. This line. The whole content will be put in a single string. Okay. So it says the file content, my single string, initially I put null. The file content is the file dot read all text. That file from this file name, that means it is getting all of my file content from this file into this file content, and it is displaying that right line is on the console, means it is displaying on the console, right? Console means this is the console. Okay, but in the programming language has its own console. That is why this is the console. Okay, give me 2 more extra minutes. Sorry, I'm out of time. Okay, so that another, similarly there is another line, write by okay, so write wall text. Okay, so this method, the write wall text method, it writes whatever you want to write on your file, it will write that. Okay, so this method is telling, this program is telling that it will open this file. Okay, and it will display this file content, and then it will again ask you to enter new content of your file. Then what you will enter as a new content, it will display everything. So this program has use of read all text as well as write all text. These 2 methods. So if I run this program, give me a minute please. Okay, so actually the file actually it has nothing, it has no content. So please say it does not have any content. So please enter a new content of the file. So this is your name, right? Hello Seth. Okay, are you happy? Okay, so the file, it says the file contains hello Seth, are you happy? So if I then run, if I rerun it, this program again, then my file will already contains hello Seth from the previous run. Okay, now if I say hello, Goodbye. Okay? So then if I say goodbye, so then if I run it again, then what it will show? Okay, hello said goodbye. Okay, so this is the wrap up of file operation. So you have an assignment with file operation. So if you do practice with this, then you should be good to do your assignment. Anyone has any question? Thank you so much.